Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you guys? Hopefully we will doing great during pandemic era. Today we are going to talk about around sectarianism. Start with the definition of sectarianism itself and will be end with the cause factors for sectarian violence. In explaining this issue, I will invite my group partner, Fauzan, to help me in explaining this issue.
Hi Deva and hi everyone, hope you guys doing alright. And yes, in this opportunity, me and Deva would like to explain about the definition of sectarianism, the sectarianism violence in Pakistan, and the cause factors of sectarianism violence. If you guys interested, well, let's just go on with the video.
Generally, definition of sectarianism is a form of prejudice, discrimination, or hatred arising from attaching relations of inferiority and superiority to differences between subdivisions within a group. The common examples are denominations of religion, ethnic identity, class, or region for citizens of a state and factions of political movement. Sectarian conflicts often refer to religious and political violence conflicts, such as conflicts between Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland.
In 2003, two events happened in Qatar that has shattered more than year-long Sunni-Shia sectarian peace in Pakistan. The first incident took place in June when 12 police recruits belonging to the Shia community were killed in Qatar. The second took place in early July when 45 people belonging to the Shia community were killed in Imam Barga while offering prayers. This was the first time sectarian attacks took place in Balochistan. However, the relation between the two communities have been tense since 1989 as a result of a widening Sunni-Shia fault line. More than 1,400 persons have been killed in the last 14 years due to sectarian violence. Though sectarian divide has always existed in Pakistan, certain developments within and outside the country in 1980s increased the number of violence, clashes, and casualties.
بأن الجريمة التي ارتكبت بحق الحسين لم تنتهي وإنما لا زالت فصولها التي نعيشها اليوم من الإرهابيين والطائفيين والحاقدين على الإسلام وأهل البيت.
There are many factors contributed to the growth of sectarian violence in 1980s and 90s. While some were direct cause, others indirectly deepened the sectarian fault lines. The following are the facts related to the sectarian violence in Pakistan that interpreted in the right perspective. Sectarian politics. The following factors increased the sectarian divide, which embedded the Pakistani society in 1980s, especially in Punjab. First, the formation of Shia and Sunni militant organizations which were not representative of their respective communities, although there was support from them.
Too many people dead and too many people injured. I was collecting dead body from 100 meters away actually. That's happened to Hazara people. Why?
Second, factionalism within the religious party and militant organization deepened the sectarian divide. The Jamiatul Islam got divided into two factions led by Fazlur Rahman and Samiul Haq, and both factions attempted to build their foundation on anti-Shia tenets, with each trying to be more fluently anti-Shia. Islamization policy of Shia. The second factor is the Islamic policy introduced by Zia-ul-Haq were also responsible for the growth of sectarian violence inside Pakistan. In fact, this policy were aimed at gaining legitimacy within Pakistan and were not meant to challenge the existing social and economic institution. However, Islamization policy exerted a negative influence on the two communities. The Sunni religious parties led by GUI and GUP became active vis-a-vis the Shias, as they wanted the state to introduce the Sunnization of Pakistan, which the Shias feared. This made the Shias defensive and they started supporting the Triple P.
The third factor is due to Pakistan's Afghan policy in the 1980s and 90s, aggravated sectarian violence inside the country. Afghan resistance against the Soviet Union in the 1980s resulted in the proliferation and easy availability of small arms in Pakistan. The emergence of the subsequent growth of the Taliban in the 1990s and their support to Sunni organizations such as the Harkat-ul-Mujahideen impinged directly on sectarian violence. The Sipah-i-Sahaba cadres were trained in Afghanistan and most of them fought the Taliban in Afghanistan and the Shias inside Pakistan. The fourth factor is the impact of the emergence of the Khomeini regime in 1979 in Iran and the subsequent Iran-Iraq War in the early 1980s on sectarian violence in Pakistan has generally been underestimated. It is no coincidence that the TNFG, the main side party in Pakistan, was formed in 1979. When the Iran-Iraq War started, the Muslim world got divided into two camps and started funding their faiths. As a result, enormous funds flowed, especially from Saudi Arabia and Iran, into Pakistan to support the various Sunni and Shia organizations and the madrasas run by them respectively, which were directly responsible for the growth for organized opposition and violence.